All right, morning chaps, welcome back.
How are we, lads?
Starts.
How are we?
This time slots got to change. This is the last one I'm doing. This is the last one.
I actually don't mind. I don't mind the 8:30 p.m. call-ups. It's quite good.
That's like prime time, guys.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. I'm missing out on a bit of football, but it's not too bad, boys.
Yeah, who's playing at the moment?
Nah, it's just the French league, boys.
The French league.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Nothing too exciting.
Nothing's really
Right.
happening. It's all good.
Yeah, the farmers.
So, what do we got on the cards for today, boys?
I just want to open
what's
today with Neddy wrapping up day 2. You boys keeping a close eye on him?
Not really.
Yeah, I am. Where
I
is
saw that he's up to lap 690 or something, but
So he's just closing out lap. He's just closing out his second day. Obviously, he updates his distance count every little bit. So it hasn't been updated yet, but it's on 269 from
kilometers.
Yeah. So that means he's
630
done.
laps.
He's done about 110 Ks from day 2. So he needs to.
Yeah.
He's still got, based off this alone, he's still got another about 50 Ks to go until he's done for the day. But I think that's probably updated. It's probably more like 40 Ks.
So what's the goal here, boys? What's he trying to achieve?
So 160 per day for 10 days straight.
Yeah, it's got to be
Well,
10 days, 16 hours or something.
Was he the first? Is he the first one to do it, or has someone done it before?
So Yanis Kouros is the legend, one of my heroes, who holds the record. He got it. He got it running around New York back in the late 80s, and he did 1,000 miles in just over 10 days. So
Okay.
Neddy's trying to make it a clean 10. But
Yeah.
it's so crazy. The more I think about it, like that's essentially on while you're awake for the 16 hours shifts, you're doing about 10 Ks an hour.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, and then you've got the 8 hours to recover, sleep, and then back out at it. And I've got him on the live stream. You're just watching him on this track.
It's
You're not
always
really
good
seeing much
viewership,
on the
though.
live stream, cause
Yeah, the live stream is great.
he just seemed
But
to
still.
So how often does he run around? Every 20
He's
minutes.
non-stop.
No, they've got
Yeah, but
different
how
camera
often do you?
angles.
They got okay. I thought they just had one on the finish line, and you just see him
Yeah.
every 20 minutes just come round.
Yeah, he's always on
Okay.
the camera. He's always on screen.
Okay.
It's wild.
It's non-stop.
It's actually wild. It's non-stop action. I've been glued
Yeah.
to the screen.
Any-
It's
any
actually
It's like
kind of joke?
150,000. No, he's got like the whole suite of people around him. He's got
Okay.
masseuses, physios. I actually
Yeah.
don't know about when he stops for like a feed. He mentioned it in one of the live streams, but I can't remember. I know he swaps
So-
it every 5Ks. He just swaps direction. Also, the amount of elevation at Sydney Olympic Park is actually pretty intense. Over the 160, it was like 3,000 meters.
Oh, okay. So he's running. He's not just running laps. I thought he's just running 800-meter laps, cause.
Yeah, he is. But over that time, Sydney Olympic's not flat. It's still the track has some elevation to it.
What?
Yeah, Strava was like 2,000 meters or something, 3,000.
I don't know about that because
Cause
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Cause
Look at the Strava.
all right. Well, we can look into this later. But regardless, it's pretty nuts. I assumed it was a flat dragon, but
It's not flat, that's
but yeah, I think the mental game side of things is just like I don't know where's your head at, and like day 2, you got so far to go, and you're just in the throes of it. I think that the early days could actually be the hardest of the lot because you haven't really made it a dint into it, and I can't even imagine how your legs would feel on day 2 after doing 160 Ks the day before.
No, yeah, I reckon he loves it. He's been looking at it for a year, had this friend of mine talking about it non-stop. What's next? Interviews, podcasts.
Yeah.
He's been training for this non-stop. I think he's just so keen to get into it. And now that he's kind of in the throes of it,
Yeah.
he's just like...
so this is
let's
this
get
is his
done.
first attempt.
This is the 10th one. You know what it kind of reminds me of? When Goggins goes on the Today Show for the pull-up record. It's like, I was on the fucking Today Show. With fucking stupid Matt Lauer and all those guys. He's like, yeah, and that guy. So it took him 3 goes, and he said the first time he did it, he was live on the Today Show in the US in this gym, and he had issues with the pull-up bar, and he said his setup wasn't there. And I see some similarities here with Neddy. Like, he's got it all set up so everyone's watching him, and it's his first crack at it. And you know, there's just so many things. You can do all the training you want, but there's going to be a lot of unknown variables that crop up through this. And I certainly hope he gets through it the first time, but I do see some parallels. But anyway, I think that time will tell.
Well,
Yeah,
you've only got 8 days to find out, so it's all good.
Yeah.
It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But, like, coming off the back of the Perth to Sydney, he was so much less prepared compared to this. And there was so many more variables.
Yeah.
So I think
How long did that take him?
just over 40 days.
Yeah.
42
Okay.
or 41.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a numbers game. It's a time thing. Like, when you're doing 100 Ks a day, you've got more time up your sleeve.
Mm.
But you don't, though, because he was taking more stops. He was dealing with
Yeah.
road trains.
Yeah. Yeah, conditions were rough.
Mentally,
Those road trains.
Just running
Do you reckon
across the
that-
bubble.
Do you reckon the heat's a bit higher out there too than just in Sydney Olympic Park
Yeah, you
in
get
winter?
cooked.
Or coming out in winter?
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably got ice baths, probably a little sauna set up in there.
Yeah.
He just rolls off all things recovery.
Straight into the ice bath.
I was trying to confirm the elevation, but I swear on his Strava it said 3,000.
Because I just don't believe that would be the case.
We're not exploring that. All right, we're not exploring.
It said 15 meters per lap.
You can bring
So
it back
you
next
do
week.
the math.
I really
15 meters
hope.
per lap. Well, then the
Yeah,
elevation would be
next
far
week.
more then, because if he's done 6,000, if he's done 600, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
ridiculous.
fine.
Something's not adding up.
Let's
But either way,
just
this
not
is-
get caught up in that. Let's not get caught up in that. I hope this time next week he's still on the case. I mean, it's crazy to think that he's got to last until like next Sunday.
Easy. He's got this.
So he's got a long
Just
week
keep
ahead of
chipping
him.
away.
He's got a long week ahead of him. I'm
Is he
excited.
just going to
for
be on the
it.
gels?
No, I guess.
Yeah, he'll be all
You'd
things.
be a dead man. You'd be a dead man if you just went gels. But yeah,
Straight gels,
sore
10 days.
ankles aren't an option here because you got to suck it up and get it done. So
Well,
I'm
when you
excited for
walk
it.
in the streets of London, 35 clicks, and he can come talk to me. London's a different beast altogether. There's
When
a
are you
lot
gonna
of,
upgrade your camera, by the way? Because everyone's been asking.
I'll do it tomorrow, guys. I head to the Westfield tomorrow. Sort it out.
What's it gonna take?
You're so pixely.
I'm running
What's
the
it gonna take,
140p's. It's 720p's. I'm actually surprised. What are you guys running? 1080s.
It's a piece of shit, cuz.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit, guys.
All right, boys.
What's it
I'll
gonna
go
take,
sort that
guys?
out tomorrow. I'll sort it out
Alright.
tomorrow, boys.
So, anyways, I'm excited for Neddy. I hope he just gets it done.
It would be ideal.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, the running community's not really behind him. There's a lot of doubt.
And we're behind him, and that's all that counts. We are the running community, all right.
No one's behind him.
Yeah, I'm hearing...
We're the two
Everyone's out
sub 3
to see him,
Jamboard bros. Hey. That's what we're known for.
You're both sub threes.
Yeah, I've just been like a few comments here and there in the Neddy live stream. Just like, come on, do it for me,
Yeah,
Neddy.
I throw it out there too. I keep up the vibes.
Get it done.
So, what was I going to say? And we'll book flights next week, Saturday AM. Get down, maybe Friday night. Park up in the stadiums.
Yeah,
Dude, let's do the live stream from there, boys. Let's just get the pod happening from trackside.
His first contact should be because
I Don't know why we would
Finish final lap, take a seat
Yeah.
straight. We'll set up the podcast. Yeah.
Spark a
Welcome
car.
him home.
Yeah.
Cars lit.
Well done.
Yeah.
Just bangers.
Boys!
Yes.
Make it happen, boys. Make it happen.
Yeah, could be on.
Yeah. Alright, anyways, let's actually get into it. What do we got? You guys want to start off with Walz, JD? Start there.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's jump in.
So you boys sit down and watch the debate.
We did indeed, cuz. Did indeed.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
I was extremely surprised, all in all. Just like,
Oh, let's be honest. Old Vancy boy shone through. Clear winner.
let's not do clear winners just yet, because let's go breakdowns.
No, let's see
I know you
breakdowns.
like to do the overstrokes.
Let's just get straight into it, boys.
Alright.
Let's get straight into it.
Alright, so they sat down, the co-main last Wednesday, and the chaps Walz and Harris sat down and we finally got to hear a bit from them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, first off, CBS was hosting actually decent moderators for a change. It felt like
Yeah.
we were actually sitting there. Make sure you bang that glass a bit louder, because
I've got you covered, cuz. It's all good.
it sounded like the moderators actually wanted to get some discourse going, and I think the whole setup was quite conducive for a good discussion. So anyways, we kicked off with Israel. That was the first topic, asking directly to JD, would you invade Iran?
What do you think, cuz?
Well, no
It was
one
pretty
really,
good.
Yeah,
Pretty good that they jumped straight in to that. They're
Yeah.
pretty recent advancements. So I was surprised they actually went there. I don't think
You're
anyone
surprised?
really. Yeah, I'm surprised that after they brought up Iran's kind of missile attack, which was
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
I think it was that day or the day before.
yeah, straight in.
They launched straight in.
Yeah.
No
I
one
don't think
actually
anyone
said
had-
what they would do. Yeah, no one actually gave an answer.
I was like, let's make
But
fun
would
of
you
Israel.
invade Iran, Hen?
I'll jump in. I think you kind of have to. You have to strike
You
back.
go straight in.
Yeah. Yeah, let me know.
It's looking more and more likely, to be fair.
All right, we can get into that later. But I think it was a good tactic they used to not. It was obviously a trap for them. You don't want to answer. You don't want to actually give a yes or no answer there. You want to use that question as a chance to introduce yourself and get into it. Because I don't think anyone's going to be people are going to be. The vast majority of people are just going to be seeing sound bites of the debate, and they cut and splice. So you just want to make sure you don't say anything too crazy that people are going to get a context.
And you're the VP. You're not there to make any brash statements. You just got to rehash things that have already been said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we go into environment, and I mean JD, he's got a hard job. He's like, Trump. What do you say when Trump has said that he doesn't believe in climate change and that there's going to be more beachfront property?
Let's hear it.
It's not an easy one to say.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
It was a pretty wise tactic. Let's just say climate change exists. If it did, we would want more American manufacturing. We want more in-house. And
Yeah,
just
bring it
piggybacked off that.
It was bringing it back, and it was quite good to see how he brought it back, just straight around. And
Let's just let's entertain the thought that climate change exists for a second, and let's. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
He's done
It was
well.
pretty rock
He did
solid.
really well.
To say
Yeah.
US has the cleanest energy production, I was actually going to fact check that. Is that an actual thing? But
I
even
wouldn't
in
think so.
Europe,
Believe that
no,
Neddys would
I-
pick that up.
There would be definitely somewhere in Europe that takes it out.
all right, but not sure.
It's a
Possibly.
pretty good call.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
obviously cleaner than India, and it's obviously cleaner than China.
Probably cleaner than Russia and North Korea, but apart from that, I'm not sure it'd be cleaner
And
than Australia.
Central
Or
South
New Zealand.
America. I think almost definitely cleaner than Australia.
You reckon cleaner than Australia? I suppose we don't have nuclear. They probably do.
Like,
have
what do
nuclear,
we even do?
We got coals. We got the
We
snowy
just ship it
hydro.
all to China anyway. Big
Yeah,
boats.
that's true.
I didn't even see it again because we just cut steel 2 months ago. Anyway, let's press on. Energy superpower got thrown around. More manufacturing, the usual story.
Yeah.
Now, Wolsey threw a bit of shade at Trump. Trumpy is like, we're actually trying to find a deal here. We are, at Minnesota. We're creating all these jobs. We're not just taking oil executives to Mar-a-Lago and telling them we'll give them everything they want.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly sure that actually happened with Trump, so I think that's a fair criticism.
Did you fact check that one then? I'm not sure if it happened exactly the way that he said it.
What actually happened there, cuz?
I haven't fact checked it, but I don't think it's happened the way that he said it.
I just picture
I'll have
these
to-
oil executives on the course, and they're cruising back to Mar-a-Lago in the golf buggies, having Chad scars,
Love
and
your
Trump's like,
scars.
I'll just give you guys everything you want.
What do you need?
Yeah. Yeah. It could have happened that way. I don't think it has happened that way. He definitely would have had him out on course, but I don't think he invited him back to the house. Just at the clubhouse, probably.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like it when JD's like firing all these shots. He's like, you guys we need more manufacturing jobs. This Harris admission has done shit. And then Wolsey just looks at it and he's like, we are at Minnesota. And it's like, oh, Wolsey is actually
He
such
seems
a
like a good guy.
yeah. He looks like such a good guy. He's just shining through. I'm like, man, god damn it, gotta make me fucking vote Democrat.
You gotta love Walz. Just a
God
good
damn it,
honest
Walz.
brother.
Yeah. He just looks like he's solutions orientated. He's just a good guy. He's throwing out Matthew 25:40. Like, I'm just like, god damn it, Walz.
You can't hate him.
Yeah.
I love the Tiananmen Square bit where it's like, were you there or weren't you there? It's like, look, yeah, sure, I wasn't there. It's like, I was there afterwards and I saw enough, but
It's a couple
I
of
wasn't
months,
actually
for
there.
fuck's sake.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I misspoke. And they're like, it's like, my bad.
I actually think that Vance, coming off that, he kind of looked like he did feel a little sorry that Waltzy had to be
Yeah.
supporting Kamala. He was like,
Yeah.
this guy seems like a nice guy. I don't really want to be doing this with you. And I think he actually held back for that reason. He didn't attack Waltzy at all. Kind of a few... Did he? I don't think he even had really a side to get Kamala. It definitely didn't come over the top or was rude to Waltzy at all.
No.
Yeah.
The big
Yeah, it's
thing
good
I
to see.
found, they went on to immigration, right, which was the third point. And obviously, you go into some of the numbers. I've had 8 million illegal crossings in the past 3 years. Like, nearly half our population. So, and Wolsey pulls up this bill from this guy called James Langford, and he had got put in this huge bill to increase enforcements, funding the wall, improve technology on the border, heaps more detention beds, streamline the deportation process and stuff. And it was all supposed to be this huge thing to actually get things done. And then it got slightly delayed from last December until Feb. But then Trump killed it in the House.
Mm.
And he brings that up. He's like, look, they need a talking point, but they don't actually want to find a solution here. We had a bill to get this sorted, but because it's an election year and they don't actually want it to be fixed until they're in office, that they killed the bill.
Yeah, it's pretty strong from Waltzy there. And he's like, look, the whole thing ran on a wall. They built like under 2% of it.
Yeah.
Mexico didn't pay for any of it.
Didn't pay a dime.
Didn't pay a dime. So yeah,
That's a pretty strong point.
yeah, a pretty easy one for JD, but strong counter from
And
Waltzy.
From
yeah,
Waltzy,
I
yeah.
mean, you can't really hide from that one, because
Well, are you changing your thoughts here, Maxi? You feeling Democrats where you want to be?
I'm not sure how I feel about this, but this was pretty
It's shaking
strong.
things up.
I wasn't I wasn't impressed with
okay.
Turkey for that. Like,
Okay.
I think that's a big point, like a very extremely valid point from Walz. Like, they just, like, a lot of the time these guys don't actually want problems to be fixed.
Yeah, but neither did the Democrats. Let's be honest.
But this bill seems like it was it should have been put through for the people.
Yeah, a lot of that was just Trump coming in and being like, anything that they had, let's scrap it all. Let's restart with all my own stuff.
Yeah.
And he didn't actually try and salvage anything that was already in place.
Yeah.
So that I wasn't impressed to see that, and yeah. So
interesting.
Not
Big
impressed.
news. The
Then they
podcast.
push on to the trade deficits a little bit more. I still don't really understand like the implications of a trade deficit. Like, maybe you guys can help me out here. But they said essentially the Harris administration or the Biden got the trade deficit to 1.2 trill. With Trump's, it was 5.8 trill. And then they harp on about trusting the experts, yada yada yada. But what does that actually mean for us at home?
I think those numbers are a bit hyped but that's what's going in and coming out. To the deficit there of what's going out to what's coming in.
Yeah.
It's 5 point whatever it is trill, where you've got
that's how much
the
their
Biden
imports
administration
outweigh their exports.
Yeah, correct.
But what are the so if they're saying bring home American manufacturing, wouldn't the trade deficit decrease?
Because they weren't exporting anything.
Yeah, they weren't exporting anything.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? Sorry, no. Their imports would be far higher. So the trade deficit is far higher.
The imports are
higher.
higher.
If they bring engineering home, then that trade deficit would change.
Bring manufacturing home, then it should decrease, right? So
It
why
would
is theirs
definitely
still so much higher if they're doing stuff at home?
They didn't bring it home.
But they haven't brought it home yet.
Okay.
I need to bring it home first, because
a nice tactic they have is they have to use these questions to tell the audience a little bit about themselves. And JD's is like, I've got 3 little kids at home, and I hope they're in bed right now.
JD, honestly. It's like, shut up.
It's so good. They better be in bed.
He came across, compared to Walz, he just came across so tacky. Like, it was kind of killing me.
I don't know.
Ultimately, he doesn't have nearly as much experience. Walz is like at least 20 years his senior, and I think he's obviously bright. He's obviously extremely smart and extremely well spoken. But getting across that genuine, persona is so much harder when you're kind of new in the game.
That's exactly. I think personality-wise, Walz won, but debating-wise, JD.
Walz is like your high school teacher. Everyone loves him. Like, just doing a bit of Bible study.
He breaks out the Bible chapter and now Maxie's his biggest fan.
Yeah, Maxie's straight Democrat now. Yeah.
I think he's good for Kamala at the very least. At least if we're looking at nuclear launch codes and she's looking around and Walz's in the room, I feel a little bit better about that.
There's a good voice reason, old Walz. I did
love
2
ladies flapping around. It could be. It could be bad news.
It could be.
I love when
interesting. Very interesting.
JD was like, they were talking about, I think it was immigration or something.
They get up to the pressure questions then.
And they were like, JD was like, I asked for an answer. You returned with a slogan. What are we doing here?
Yeah. So Walz gets his pressure question first, which was, you stated you were in Hong Kong during Tiananmen Square in the spring of 1989. However, you're actually there in the fall. And like you said, Hen, he had a pretty decent answer. He just said, all right, here's my career, here's my background, here's what I did. I went into teaching, went Congress, yada yada yada, heaps of Hong Kong trips. I wish Trump came on some of those because we wouldn't have this huge trade war with China. I thought fairly decent answer. Then JD's pressure question. You said 2016 Trump was unfit for office and he could be the next Hitler.
What are you going to say about that?
Then
What's your
later, he
comments
said in
on that one?
2020 he vowed to deliver his economic populism. I'm like, far out. That's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, I thought he answered it like a bit of a boss.
I don't even know what he said.
He just skirted the questions. He's not really 100% answering it, but it was good skirts.
Yeah, I think
You were
it's
a couple
tough
months off when you said this. You said your running mate was Hitler.
Yeah.
You got to say about that.
Yeah, definitely in the firing line. I think I think you're right, because I think he just skirted it. He said we've got to bring manufacturing home. Yada yada yada. Just stick to the script.
Yeah.
Then they went into abortion. They obviously differed in opinions quite severely there. Walz said we shouldn't leave it to the states because people who really do need it will have to leave their state and go to different states, and that could be a big issue. I don't really know what to believe anymore. I used to think it was good for leaving it in the states, but I'm actually not
Walz
so
made
sure.
a pretty good
You
point.
made a good point. So you're Waltzy too now.
Cases. Well, I don't know if I'm Team Walz, but I don't know. I'm definitely don't know if I'm Team JD either. But
on the abortion
topic of
issue
abortion,
alone,
it's like
as a standalone.
when we were looking at externally, it's like, okay, leave it to the states. Everyone gets a choice. But when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, you're surrounded by all the same state that is either choice. You have to travel pretty far.
Yeah.
That can lead to complications. Waltz's kind of cases about the 3 different women, or like rape victims that had to have the child because they weren't able to access it, things like that. I don't know what's right anymore. But, it seemed like they both kind of, fundamentally agreed. It was just kind of differences in.
Yeah, JD's really got to run the line of being pro-families and say, that's all we are here, and keep it on that. But yeah, I'm glad I don't have to make that decision anyway, because it's I don't think there's any right answer.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Gun violence.
That's
Waltz's son witnessing a school shooting. That was a nice moment of solidarity between the two guys. I thought anyway. Where JD's like, I didn't know your son saw that. My God, that's horrific. Just a bit of respect there.
There was a lot of respect there between the two of them. I think that there wasn't a time where you really thought it wasn't like the Trump Kamala one where they're just going, just attacking each other. It was a lot. To be fair, I would probably prefer to see those two as the prime candidates for the presidency.
That's what everyone was saying, because it's like, we've got two drunken stepdads behind the wheel, and we're just trying to make this work. We could be friends. They went on to housing crisis, and Waltzy, big call. Let's stop making houses commodities. They're not something you just trade and invest. It's a goddamn house. I'm like, Waltzy, you've done it again.
Good on you, Waltzy. He's just saved us there. Saved the
Health
American
insurance
people.
concepts of the plan got brought up again, and JD had to support, had to fucking fight the fires there. I was like, look, everyone's got concepts of a plan.
Yeah.
Sometimes
do you
that's
really
all
want
you
me to go through a 300-page document right now? That would bore you to death. It's a pretty strong counter argument there, JD.
Yeah.
He makes some good points.
The whole health insurance thing, I think Waltzy comes in strong again. He's like, Minnesota, we've got the best healthcare. We've got 3M, we've got Medtronic. What Trump wanted to do with making these the health insurance changes would mean that people with pre-existing conditions or something would be in trouble. And it's like, so if you're fit and healthy, that's very good, but if you've got anything like in your background, you're going to be paying these massive premiums. I think that was the crux of the issue anyway, which all sounded pretty fair. I don't know. I don't really
Yeah,
know.
I don't really
know
understand
ins and outs of
the
it.
American healthcare system. It all seems just like a
It's
mess.
all a bit of a shit fight.
Yeah, and they don't have national paid leave by the sounds of things. They're trying to sort that out. That also sounds pretty shit.
Yeah.
And then they go on to January 6th. Not much really to say there. Freedom of speech. They do. I like the argument here where you've got your freedom of speech and censorship, which is obviously an issue. But Walz's counter argument is the fire in a crowded theatre.
Mm.
What's that one?
So you've got you go, Cuz.
Go for it, cuz.
Fine. So if you've got a massive audience and you yell fire in a crowded theatre about something, you can have, you can create
Blocking up the doors.
public safety issue. It's like what they're saying with COVID and other health crises is like you can have massive misinformation go out there and cause public health safety concerns. So it's
Right.
like so
There's a need for
sometimes
some censorship.
exactly. So it's like, is it all just free for all, or if we see issues and we see our people at risk of stuff, should we censor some stuff? And I'm like, look, that's a pretty strong argument. I think that seems pretty sensible, but I'm not sure how that implementation would actually go.
Yeah. Where do you draw
It'd
the
be
line?
tough. It'd be pretty tough. It'd be similar to what they're doing in Australia at the moment with the 5% charging companies that, what is it, the 5% fine for massive companies spreading misinformation.
Hey, 5%.
Yeah,
They're putting
of
out
their
fines.
revenue or something. Yeah, it's massive fines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for spreading misinformation in Australia.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
Uh,
bring these private
you
companies.
move if you move that into I don't know, into America, you could probably see it working, but apart from that, I'm not sure how else it could work. You can't just go around individually telling people, oh, you can't say this. Like, what are you going to do? Just start locking people up like they have in the UK?
Yeah, no,
not
that's definitely the wrong approach. What the UK did, targeting big companies sounds pretty sensible, and I think like people like Elon are obviously diehard free speech advocates to the extreme, and I think there's a lot of that I agree with, but there's dangers that it can pose, but it's so easy to go the other way with over censoring because you can't really draw the line anywhere. So I think the absolutism approach is very sensible as well, but you do run the risk of causing harm to people. And I don't know. Walz makes a good point. I don't know what the right answer is. I think it's just we've never really been in this situation of such mass, access to information.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there is any right answer right now because it's going to take some time before there is. But it will be. It will just be censoring. Like, what other options are there apart from censoring what people say?
Yeah, I think some sort of censorship
Like-
is probably the way it's going to have to go.
There is literally you can't just throw that out there and go, well, we need to have some censorship without impacting someone's free speech. There is no other option but censoring them, and then you'll be taking away a little bit of their free speech. So, I don't know, unless you guys can think of another way that you can censor someone without really taking away their free speech. I'm not too sure.
I would say ultimately no censorship is how I would lean toward, but I do acknowledge the risks it causes.
Yeah. Mass hysteria, people being attacked that probably shouldn't be attacked. There's a lot of things that can happen. And so you're saying these people should be punished or they shouldn't be punished for causing pain to someone else or impacting a business or impacting a person? Like, what happens if it's just free speech that is saying something off the top of their head? So you're saying there should be no impact at all?
I think for a functioning democracy, we need to have everyone's allowed to speak their mind.
Okay.
ultimately that needs to be the case, because otherwise you'll have what we had with COVID, where people are getting locked up for saying stuff and people are scared to speak their mind, and then we lead to tyranny. I think that's my chief concern, and which can cause way more harm, because you can't hold governments accountable. It seems they can just do whatever they want once they have censorship, and then we really slip down a slippery old slope, and that's how revolutions arise.
I see what you're saying.
So I get the streets, guys.
I'm not sure, because I'm not too sure. I think there should be a need for censorship. Well, I think some of the stuff that you see that goes on where, people are just saying, and two big audiences nowadays, a lot of people out there do have a pretty big following, just creating absolute shit and not having any ramifications for what they do. I think it needs to be something that... We're very fortunate where we don't have viewership. Although we never say anything that's damning, because we're just speaking our minds.
We speak the facts.
We just speak facts. Straight facts.
Just putting out absolute shit.
It is pretty much garbage that we put out.
Contacted us and said, we got to shut this down. You guys are spreading misinformation.
We need to be held accountable.
I think we always cover ourselves as going, because I'll just be like, where's the misinformation? That's what I would ask first. If you can prove that I have misinformation. But there is a lot of people out there that can, when they do just speak absolute shit, there is proof that they are speaking absolute shit. There would be documents to the contrary of what they've said. Where for us, we don't really have that, because...
The fact that Trump can seemingly just spout off random things that aren't true at all, and he was kind of the one that's promoted all of this, just say something that's not true and run with it, as long as you're confident.
Yeah.
If you're gonna lie, at least be strong.
Be confident,
So, I don't know. I think it's a top-down effect, because you see it from the top and everyone mimics it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
You're flipping and flopping, guys.
I don't know.
I tend to agree, because you are
Yeah. One minute you're firing a crowd of fear. Next minute you're saying free speech leads to tyranny. Which one is it?
Because I think that
grappling with the issues.
Yeah. We don't want to hear you back and forth live on air. Just come with us with a firm stance.
Why don't we just do next week? Add it to the podcast. What your stance is, and just let us know straight up.
Or one sentence answers.
Final statements from Walz and JD, both of them finishing strong, and I think credit to both of them. They got through a lot of stuff there. I was counting up the number of topics they went through. That's 11 big topics, fast-paced, heavy-hitting questions. And all of them, they were dialed in the whole time. Honestly, it was like a masterclass from both of them. I think that they did extremely well to just get up there and get that done. But really, highly professional. I was extremely impressed. That was the best debate I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was another classic JD hitting home. Fair enough. I agree with what Waltzy's saying. But, let's not forget they've been in office. Kamala's been in office.
Yeah.
What's actually come of it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a good finish.
All in all,
good finish from him.
Yeah, strong finish from JD. It was just it was good to see back and forth. Look, I agree with you here. I don't agree with you here. Very civil, and it really just shone through compared to what we've seen previously. Everyone's just like, oh my god, there is hope. America's just not going to be in shambles.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, because I think civil is the right word. It was very civil. But I think you got JD, who's just a natural debater. Obviously, I think he comes through with the win for me. But how can you go wrong with Waltz? You just look at him as your granddad sitting on the couch telling you old stories. He's hard to
out on the family
even
property.
disagree with. Yeah. Yeah.
Got the
On the
Bible on the
porch.
left.
Sipping iced teas, Bible on the left. You're right, because it is just hard to even like every time you
Conversations
you
can go from
great,
geopolitics to the weekend game coming up. Bit of baseball practice out the front yard.
Yeah. Bit of
Talking
catch.
war stories.
You're not wrong, Kez. You're not wrong.
Good family, man.
When he was standing
Yeah, it was
in
good to see.
Tiananmen Square, and then he forgets, oh, that wasn't me actually. But yeah,
I'm not holding anything against him. I don't hold anything against him for that. I've decided that that's a bit of BS that they're pressing him so hard for that.
yeah.
They needed something to counteract the bloody you called your running mate. What have we got on Walz? Did he say fall instead of spring? Idiot.
Yeah, the two questions did seem a bit skewed there. One was pretty heavy hitting, and one was, who really gives a shit?
Yeah. No, credit to both of them. Highly enjoyable.
Yep.
No,
it was good.
It gives me a lot of hope that whoever wins, at least they've got a good VP by their side to hopefully get them through.
Yeah.
Good to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's just while we're on it, let's get into this little side piece story. So, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, Mike Robinson, in a bit of hot water.
Yeah.
Not pretty. I mean, Trump's just doing his usual keep a lot of distance. He was in North Carolina. Mark Robinson wasn't anywhere to be seen. JD's actually doing his bit to help put out some fires, saying, let's lay off him. It was all in the past. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But not.
So
so much
I was confused.
So what actually happened, boys? Let's lay it out. What's the story?
Yeah. So let's lay us through. So obviously you got this article sent to you from an avid fan.
Yeah, one of the viewers sent this one in.
Yeah.
No context. Really, it was just I'd like to get the Yoka's take on this one.
So was it the actual? Was it the Mark Robinson scandal that he was interested in us covering, or just the absolute self-righteous dribble that this chick was about?
Yeah, the article itself is a piece of garbage.
It was absolutely.
I read
garbage.
one sentence. I'm like, I'm not doing this. But I went into the issue.
C, D. If you were any of these, you will vote for. It was absolute.
Are you
bullshit.
a white male?
Yeah. So the scandal
very
itself.
questionably written.
Yes. So maybe that's what he was trying to get us to cover, because this woman was so up her own ass, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a tough read. But I think it was actually the scandal, the accusations. I did a bit of a deep dive, and
Okay.
Bring it home, man. What's the story?
What's the deep dive?
What were the actual searches like? What was he looking up?
Well, it was all
Does
on
this
this.
link in with Diddy?
Yeah, I think it's all.
Is
tied
Diddy
into one
involved?
case.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on this
Fake ops.
nude Africa porn site. He had a alias name, and he was just kind of spouting all sorts of dribble on there.
Black Nazis.
Black Nazi.
For Hitler over Obama.
Yeah, all sorts
He
of
doesn't
things.
mind the tease. I mean, a lot of people like the tease, so I don't know how controversial that is. But the first 2 points,
Yeah, first two are a bit dicey, but I think it all ties into the whole North Carolina. That's why they bring it up, because it's from 2008 to 2012.
Yeah.
So they did some digging on him.
We're all doing shit.
I didn't do the deep dive, unfortunately, because I got to the end of that article and just thought, well, who gives a shit sort of thing, so what?
Shut it down. Yeah.
It wasn't, there was just no nuance in that fucking article whatsoever, so I was just like, fuck this.
You weren't impressed.
I'm done.
Look,
but
I'm happy
it's
to do these
interesting
hot
the deep
takes.
dive.
I think it was decent enough. I think it was like your standard old leftists coming out of Canberra saying, let's have a dig at the Republicans. We see it all the time. But
I've had enough.
I'm happy to do these hot takes, but what I was saying before off air is that if you want us to do hot takes, you got to come and give us the rundown on air yourself.
Yeah.
We
Let
can
us do a bit of
call-outs, guest
background
speakers.
But
We'll do a bit of background, but then we can debate it live on air. See what
No, I couldn't agree with that statement more, because I think that's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
need to
10
name
minutes.
your mate this time in, or the viewer who sent that article in. But next
No
time,
names.
make sure they come on there. They can remain
name
anonymous
names.
as well. Yeah.
I've got a few suspects.
Yeah, you got a short list.
I've got a short list. Don't you worry. So, anyways, not bad. But I think next time let's bring him on air and let's see what they have to say.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild accusations. I mean,
Point of the story is I think he's done.
Accusations.
I think he's
Do
done.
you think he's done? I think it said that he's...
he probably has done it. To be fair, I agree.
No, as in, I don't think they'll let him be the Republican.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think
of North Carolina.
Yeah.
His votes dropped from like 80% in favour to 60%, but he's still.
Yeah.
I think he'll still make it through.
You know how he came to fame though? This Mark Robinson guy. So he was working in a furniture factory, and he just labourer getting the job done. And then there was this pro-gun rally that he went to. And it's like, yeah, they want to take our guns, like yada yada yada. And he had some really good like points there, and he said it on camera. Just walked on and said it, and people loved it. So they started bringing him to like the pro-gun rallies, and he started getting his public speaking exposure through that. And then all of a sudden, he ran for lieutenant governor of North Carolina. And he got into office that way.
That's a pretty good story, actually. I like that.
You know what?
Just
it's not bad.
always grinding, just fucking coming up the hard way, and not.
See, I think he can hide behind the whole look. I did some shady things in the past. Freedom of speech, sure, wasn't favourable.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't ideal.
I think that's Maybe he is.
Maybe.
I think he'll be alright.
He'll be fine, guys. He'll be fine.
Let's get the show on the road here, lads. We got Israel, because what big developments out of Hezbollah? What's going on?
Just nuts. Boots on the ground, like in every definition. Just fucking Israel going in, door to door.
Forces moving in.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I think they said it was a small force, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't really a small force, a decent size.
What are the numbers?
I wasn't able to get the numbers actually. Have you guys got any numbers there of how many were sent in?
I don't know. All I know is that there's 1,000 Lebanese dead with 1 million displaced.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what are your thoughts on this? Obviously, I haven't seen this the civilian death tally out of Lebanon at the moment, or Beirut in particular, but compared to the pages and the walkie-talkie attack, I think there's a lot more civilian casualties than there was in that sort of attack.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they've just come in all guns blazing.
Yeah.
Are they at risk of hubris?
I don't think so, because
Israel's had a pretty good run so far, sweeping through Gaza, sweeping through Lebanon. Are they really going to stir the pot? Could they stir it too much?
I don't think they
Iran's already thrown in 180 ballistics. A few of them hit.
But America shot down a few of them as well.
Yeah.
So Iron Dome took care of a few. I was reading how their Iron Dome system works. So they've got the Iron Dome, which is like the 10-kilometer range. Then they've got this outer one, the Star of David. They've named it all religious sort of names. But they've got the next layer, which is the ones that gets like missiles 200 clicks out. Then they've got the outer rim, which gets them from about 2,500 clicks. So if they're in the outer space, I don't think Israel can do no wrong. Like
2,500 clicks, they can get them.
Yeah,
Jesus.
They can shoot them down. Yeah.
Because Iran is like 2,000 kilometers away from Israel.
Yeah.
So pretty much as soon as they launch them,
I think with these ones, they have to be going into outer space before they can shoot them down. So they need a bit of time. So they go up and then come back down.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They probably skirt around the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But how long is it before Iran launches its own ground offensive?
They won't either. They can't.
How are they going to?
The US is just the US.
They're so far away.
Has made sure that there's just going to be nothing. Yeah.
Send them in through Lebanon.
They could
send them in through Lebanon.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Well, they get the Houthis in Yemen as well. They can mobilize.
Yeah, there's actually there's a lot of side things going on.
They got the side piece.
I think Israel at the moment can have a free for all. They just can do what they want. They've got US backing them. US just keeps giving them anti-air missiles.
It's just creative license. Do what you want.
Do what you want. We've got the US backing us. Like, the US just sent over 30,000 troops, not into Israel, but into hotspots around areas for what possibly comes next. So it's
we're 1 year on Monday. Is this going to drag on just as long as Ukraine, Russia? Is this going anywhere anytime soon? How long can this actually last?
This will go on way further than Ukraine, Russia, I think.
Especially
this is going to be Afghanistan all over again.
They're not going to cut funding.
Yeah.
But how long can it actually last for? How long can these people be displaced before the countries just collapse?
I don't think. Well, I know Netanyahu have said, leave Beirut now. We'll clear out Hezbollah, and then you can come back. But I just can't see the optics there. I can't see how that's going to work.
Like if you're a small business owner, like what the hell?
It's not good times.
Yeah, I think this is. Yeah.
That's all it is.
What's going on here? We're making light of a pretty terrible situation, but you're right. I think that's the whole point. Is why it can't be resolved quickly. Is that just too many people been displaced? They're not going to be coming back anytime soon. Everything's been destroyed for them anyway. So the rebuilding's going to take years before they actually get to where they were previously. So it's just not feasible.
So you think essentially Iran will just back down, leave it like. So you think Hezbollah will get permanently cleared out of Lebanon?
I think so, yeah.
You think Gaza will get cleaned out of Hamas, and then Israel will, then things will simmer down that way?
I think the only possible way that this would ever be over swiftly is if the US go, sorry, Israel, we're not offering you any support anymore, and we'll just see what happens from there. Israel will get absolutely rinsed, but that would be the only way.
You don't think it's easy just to shut down the proxies of Iran, and then let those countries continue? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. I just don't think this is going to be an easy fix. I don't think this is going to be over anytime soon. I think we're going to be talking about this in 2 years' time, and it will still be going on then. 5 years' time.
The thing that I'm interested to see is if, when Israel strikes back, Iran's come out and said, look, if anyone gets involved, you're asking for a full-blown war. They said, no one jump in. If Israel strikes back, we're going to just send in everything we have. If Israel targets Iran's nuclear supplies, what happens then? Iran said if you do, it's all-out war.
That's my point of hubris.
Israel
if they,
really
can they take it too far and shut down, target Iran then what happens?
Yeah. Well, Israel, I'm saying when they strike back, because every time they've been hit, they immediately strike back. So it's I don't think it's a matter of when.
A matter of time.
So I don't know. It's going to be extremely dicey, extremely quickly, I think.
Likelihood of this escalating to a nuclear conflict.
I'm saying above 10%. I'll back above 10%. Yeah.
If they hit the nuclear infrastructure and cut Iran's kind of comms and all that, hit their key infrastructure.
Yeah.
What's to say they won't? I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see if the escalation ramps up enough where the US does have to fully blown get involved before the election happens. Because that would be
Trump JD on the launch codes.
Yeah, that would be a very, very interesting.
The launch codes.
You want Walz on the launch codes.
I don't know. It'll be interesting because you can't have Biden on the launch codes because he won't know what button to fucking press. So it will be interesting. I think if it escalates to a point where Biden or the Biden administration is sending in troops to actually launch ground assaults themselves, I think it'll impact the election quite severely in favour of
they're
the
going to have to
Republicans.
they're going to have to take a firm stance at that point.
Yeah.
Just trying to see what exactly Iran's defense minister said. So he said,
What are you saying?
What's he said, Ed?
he's just saying that they're going to enter into a great war if Europe gets involved or if anyone gets involved.
Yeah.
So, no surprises.
Empty threats?
That's
No.
the thing. Can Iran really just
You're like
go all guns blazing? Are they
Well,
just
Iran
relying
can't.
Can't stop
Iran
running.
can't do
on China and
that.
Russia?
China, Russia, big brothers. It's kind of like you
No.
keep leveling up on the bosses you're fighting. You know,
Yeah.
going for the bigger
Yeah.
one. Start with Lebanon,
Yeah.
Iran, Russia, China. Like, is that where
You
this all
need
leads?
to.
Yeah, would China even want to get involved? Like, they're so fucked as it is. We
So
don't have any more men.
let's talk about the hidden gem in the room. Where does India stand on all of this? They're supporting the US, aren't they? They do
Don't
support the
think
US.
You're worried about your manufacturing plant, don't you?
I'm not sure if you guys have checked the stats though, but India
Alright.
actually does have a very, very decent military
You weren't
force
happy
now.
after the last episode, because
You guys bagging at me,
bad
man.
rap.
I've had enough of it, alright? I've just had about enough of it. Give them a break, boys.
Downtown Delhi. Manufacturing style.
All I'm saying
is, if you opened up a business in downtown Delhi, you'd be praying for a Chinese invasion. Someone has to run the fucking place.
Oh dear, dear, oh dear. All I will say on the matter, getting back to the topic, cause is that I do think that the escalation will continue, and I think it's getting to a point where it is going to get quite scary and dicey for a lot of people very soon.
I think it's already scary and dicey, because
We're still in that period where it's like, oh, you know, Russia's gonna fully invade Ukraine. Never really happened. I think we're at that sort of level right now. I think if once Israel does retaliate, it'll be interesting. Then it's going to go up another level from there.
yeah, tensions are definitely rising, and it's gonna I think you're right, because I think escalation is the only way forward at the moment.
Yeah.
Much to say in sports, we got to get on to Sammy. That's
There's
your
a lot going on in sports.
It's a lot to
let's
cover
keep
in
it
sports.
clean. What do you guys got?
Couple of big Champions League games over the week. Not too bad.
Yeah. Hate to see
Few-
the Celtics cop a 7-1 loss. That's
Yeah,
okay.
Dortmund. I was actually, after what they did to whatever they're called, the Slovenian team, I thought, oh, maybe Celtics put up a bit of a chance, but no, 7-1 to Dortmund was a bit nasty. Obviously,
Yeah.
Man City getting the job done quite easily, 4-0 against the team Celtics beat 5-1. Arsenal getting the job done, as the bosses they are, just a straight up big ass team getting it done. I saw your boys today, or yesterday actually, and Man U.
Yeah, the 3-all.
Disappointing from
Back-to-back
Bruno
Reds.
Fernandes again.
Yeah,
He
back-to-back
deserves
Reds.
it. Honestly, I don't know what their team's going to do. I think Man U have probably had their time in the sun. I think about time they get relegated back down to Championship, if not League 1, League 2. I don't think they deserve to be in the Premier League anymore. I think there needs to be...
League 2 is
just-
probably the best up.
Yeah, I think they need a complete overhaul.
Yeah.
Ten Hag needs to go. Not sure why Harry Maguire's still in the team. Obviously, they bought him for so much, and
Oh, how about that
Can't sell him
header
now.
though? How about that header? 'Cause
because it's the best
Don't
thing
write him
he's
up
done
just
in
yet.
about 5 years. There's
Don't
just
write him
not a lot going on for him. You bought Xerxes for some stupid amount of money, and he's shocking. Not sure why he was starting over Rasmus. Like Rasmus, I actually think is one of your best players, apart from
Yeah,
Rashford.
Rasmus is decent. Yeah, I don't know what Rashford's really sticking around.
He should go, 100%. He would get bought up. He would get a really good offer from other people, and he should go because he's got a team that's dog shit around him. Can't do anything. I've had about enough of United because I've had enough of the United fans. Yeah, I see him every now on social media, and it just makes me want to throw my phone in the water. I've just had enough of it all.
Yeah, you can't deny passion. You can't deny passion because.
Yeah, I think
tell you,
it's streaming.
City's cooked. What do you reckon? Do you reckon they're done?
Without
Like,
Rodri.
what's actually going to happen? No, with all the investigations.
Nah, nothing's going to happen because.
I reckon so they're just going to keep eking it out. Nothing's ever going to
they were supposed to lose points like 2 years ago. They were definitely supposed to lose points last year. They're not going to lose any points this year. They'll keep on pushing it. They've got some of the best solicitors in the world on this case. There's nothing going to happen there because. Yeah, and everyone's getting pretty angry at the moment because they're like, well, FIFA make the rules and they can't even defend their own rules. Like, what the fuck's going on here? So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got the Saudi backing. You're just going to keep them in the courthouse. There's nothing's ever going to come of it.
Yeah. That's it, guys. That's it.
What else we got? We got UEFA. Yeah, that was...
Let's just quickly touch on F1.
Oh, yeah. Let's
stay out of it.
Let's do it again, because... let's just go back there, because... Why are we touching on F1 again?
What do you need?
Well, I thought you'd be all over it, because Nui.
Well, at Aston Martin. Well, I thought we covered that last week, because he's been there for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I don't think we actually covered it. Because he came out with an interview propping up Lawrence Stroll. And he made his point saying that he's one of the few guys that actually owns and runs the team, not just these team principals like your mate Zach or Christian.
Yeah. What else would he say? Because he's just been offered some obscene amount of money, more than any other driver that's on the field. He's obviously going to give props to that guy. I think he's just talking out of his ass. I don't like Lance Stroll or fucking Lawrence Stroll. I think they're both retards, and it does my head in listening to when they talk. It really does. You talk about, he's giving props, but he's letting his son still race in the sport because he's got, I just don't understand that. You're saying that you're giving props to Lawrence Stroll as an absolute fantastic businessman running the team with just to perfection, but you still let your son race, who is probably the worst driver I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
So you think it was simply a cash grab, not his love of the sport that took him there?
I think Newey just saw, well, here we go. This is where I'll rest on my laurels. Probably can improve the team slightly. And he's going to get paid an awful lot of money to do so. Why not? Be an easy gig for him too. He only needs to add 0.2 of a second to the car and he'll be seen as another genius. Aston Martin ain't going to win any championships anytime soon. So I think it was an easy gig for him. He's not going to have any high pressure on him. He's just going to keep developing the car, making it a little bit faster each year, and that'll be that.
So you got pretty low expectations for Aston Martin despite having Newey?
Yeah, they're not going to do anything because Zero. And I think Newey's happy with that. I think he's... there's no outside chance because... no outside chance.
Yeah, pretty damning reports come from because I think they actually do have an outside chance because Newey is the most capable man in all of the sport, and I think he's got a lot more integrity than you give him credit for.
Because there's... no. I just have no words to that comment because it's the most ridiculous comment I've ever heard in my life. It's just ridiculous. It's got to be...
Just a flat no.
Just a straight no, because... No.
2025 season. Let's see what happens.
Audi will have more chance of winning the sport in 2026 than Aston Martin will. Aston Martin have got zero chance. And even if they do, how are they going to win races with Lance Stroll, who is just terrible, and Fernando Alonso, who's getting too old for the sport anyway?
We might have a few tricks up his sleeve, guys. We'll see.
It's not. I think we're going to be coming into an era where you've got two very, very good drivers of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. It is going to be a McLaren era for the next, I'm going to say, 4 to 5 years. Those boys are young, they're hungry. McLaren's good. As much as I don't like Zach Brown, he is a fantastic CEO, and they will clean sweep it for the next many, many years.
Well, it's on record now. So you reckon those boys? I reckon Lewis has got a very good year ahead of him, first off, and I think that Newey's got a few tricks up his sleeve.
Nah. Look, anything can happen, I suppose, but it's just not going to happen. Are you team Aston for next year, cuz, or when are you? When are you team Aston?
Yeah, maybe next season. Although, yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's get on with it, lads. What other sports we're gonna move on?
Wait. We're just doing one last thing, cuz. One last thing. Aussie's getting it done in the cricket. Good to see.
Yeah. Good to hear, cuz. Yeah.
Yeah, wait. I thought it got rained out.
It did, but they run on the DSL system. So they just run because they hammered the runs early on. They run 1 by 50 runs or something like that.
Yeah, 49.
Okay.
It was pretty tight. Tight-ish. Now we're on to Sri Lanka next.
Yeah, cuz.
Thoughts?
Yeah, it'll be clean up.
Sri Lanka versus who? Australia.
Yeah.
No, well, that just won't be it. It won't be as interesting. It won't be as fun. That'll be straight up, cleanups.
Alright, fair enough.
Before we go on, big fight coming up, isn't there, Hen? Here we got.
Yeah, we got Pereira versus Roundtree.
That's right.
Roundtree's famously never shot a takedown in his whole UFC career, and he's like 35.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to start anytime soon. It is going to be all guns a-blazing. Pereira's coming off like 12 wins in a row or something. Oh, no, actually not. He lost easy, but he's coming off a lot of wins. Double weight.
I reckon Jose's in the mix too.
Jose's been a...
Surely he's... It's got to be back soon.
Jose's there as well. Why haven't they made that the main... Why haven't they made that the main event for? Just massive, like, old Jose just coming out.
Yeah, shout out.
One of his last fights, he just got mauled.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he got like just beat down for like 4 rounds of just ground and pound. Everyone was like, "Stop the fight!"
Where's the white towel? Just throw it in.
Just
Let's get this done.
Kicking on.
It's pretty
Fair
sad.
play to him.
Yeah.
Well.
Predictions?
I think second round KO for Pereira.
Ooh, big
Second
one.
round.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say goes the distance.
Big goal goes.
Yeah.
Big goal.
Before we move on to Sammy boys, should we just touch on P Dids real quick?
Yeah, sure.
That's ramping up big time, boys. So now they have reports from hundreds of victims, including a kid of 9 years old. They were saying they will be releasing the names of those directly in the freak-offs. Beyonce and Jay-Z thought to be key co-conspirators, which is a big one.
Yeah, see, I told you lads.
Yeah.
They're directly into this.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
P Diddy's now fully responsible for Tupac Shakur's death, completely. And
really?
Unequivocally, yeah. So he hired. Oh fuck, I forget his name, but he hired the guy that shot Tupac Shakur.
Wait,
that's come out.
confirmed. Yeah, that's completely confirmed.
Why didn't you open with that, guys? Jesus. How could they possibly prove that, though? It's like 30 years on.
I don't know. The sheriff came out today and he's just like, after 29 years, it's finally good to bring some closure to the family.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
P Dids.
Yeah. P Dids is in some trouble, boys. And what about Eminem's song? That was released well before all this shit happened with P Diddy.
Yeah.
Just talking about... Yeah.
Well, he knew.
How did he know? He'd been to the freak-offs, or he just heard things on the street, boots on the ground?
I'm sure, yeah, friend of a friend.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
M,
He was probably
everyone
there.
knows M. No, M wasn't there. M's a good guy. M's an actual good guy. He knows when people are dodgy, and getting into that industry, I feel like him and Dre would have been like, this guy's a fuckwit, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
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 and Snoop as well. I think like
Yeah.
those lads would have been looking over at Dids, being like, let's just keep our distance. But I feel like that it's a pretty small crowd essentially once you get up to those upper echelons, and everyone
Yeah.
probably knows each other, and you,
Well, the
you
thing
know
with
what people are
Snoop-
up to.
It's because Snoop
Yeah.
was so close with Tupac. So
Exactly.
like, are they just gonna come for Diddy directly? Is he just like fucked either way now?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Are they
sure.
just
But
gonna
it was
go the
Keefy
distance?
D that put out that Diddy told to put the hit out on Tupac.
Right.
Yeah. Gave him a mil. Keefy D gave him a mil to do the hit.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Have
So
they,
what's
have
he
they
looking at,
released
guys?
the
I'm
Have they
not
released
sure.
the list?
I could. No, they haven't released the list yet, but there is a solicitor in Texas or somewhere in the butt fucking nowhere. There's this a solicitor that's going to release the list. It's not like a high profile New York law firm. It's like this piece of shit got one of the victims that had been to one of these freak offs. It's like this mum and pop sort of solicitor, and they got a copy of the list, and they're going to release it.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fair play.
yeah. So, and they're in a
Oh.
state where apparently you can
they be
release
trusted?
those sort of documents.
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Release the tapes.
Yeah, yeah. Moon landing might be coming out with it. I'm not sure which, but we'll see.
Yeah. Do you actually
Yeah.
see these high-profile guys coming under fire?
Oh, yeah, not in the way of probably going to jail, but definitely losing some of their fan base. 100%.
Yeah, I thought I saw something that this is going to be one of the first times that they actually have individual cases for the people that were involved,
Mm.
rather than just
Okay.
naming.
So it could,
just things away.
yeah. So it could actually have some repercussions for these people, which wouldn't be too bad.
Get Leo locked up.
Cuz, Leah?
Nah, he's a good guy, guys. He wouldn't have done anything wrong. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I love Leo, but
You're backing in Leo to be arrested, cuz.
I don't know.
He's been in amongst them.
going to these parties for a long time.
He does. He has. He has seen a lot. Let's be honest.
Back.
Yeah, he's seen a lot.
Never had a girl older than 25. Like,
To be fair, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Leo that just pulled this whole thing from the get-go. Rat Pack found out about Diddy and just said, you know what, Diddy, you gotta go. Don't fuck with the Rat Pack. Just not sure. Not sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's all happening.
liberals, the leftists would be very upset to lose Leo because that guy can seemingly do no wrong.
Mm.
Yeah. He's a hard
He
time.
is.
How can you
Yeah,
hate
he
him?
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Comes out he's at the freak offs. It would be quite the upset. Front and center.
I think we'll find out that he wasn't at the freak offs. I don't think we've got anything to worry about there, boys. You won't have to
That's
worry
really
there,
the
guys.
case.
I want to see how deep it goes with Jay-Z and Beyonce, because that's all my reels at the moment are just deep ties. Everyone gets up and thanks Beyonce immediately for Grammys, things like that.
Yeah.
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 So
So you think there's a very, very deep conspiracy there, cuz?
Yeah, I got into this thing. It was like she's actually a witch, and like if you don't thank her, then you're cursed. I don't know if there's any links to that, but
Paying tributes. If
Yeah.
Jay-Z's going down, I can't see Kanye not getting involved.
nah, don't drag Kanye into this. 'Cause
What's Kanye got to do with anything, cuz?
Well, Jay-Z, Kanye, like this is they're dragging Jay-Z through the like. This would have been early teens, late noughties. Like Jay-Z and Kanye were thick as thieves then, so I can't
Yeah, but I
imagine
don't-
they were that
Nah.
separated from all of this stuff.
I think Kanye split off. He obviously, he's found religion. He's done his time, cuz.
I think he's definitely been in the mix. I think the Kardashians are definitely deep in it, but
Oh, so you reckon they're at the
I
freak
Paris
offs
Hilton
too?
was at them, and if Paris was there, then Kim was there, then now somehow Kanye's going to get into it as well. I don't know. I feel like once you got these guys, that list is just going to...
So you think it's going to be end of Hollywood as well? Just everyone's going.
I'm saying it's the end of Hollywood, because
you think it's all going down up in flames?
Yeah, the thing is, like, how many people can you actually cancel at one time before you just don't have anything?
I heard 1,500. That's what someone said.
1,500.
1,500.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Any more than that? Okay, let's get on to the good book.
Yeah.
Let's just.
Everyone's favourite
clear
segment. Let's
Clear our
clear it
sense
out.
away.
Alright, Hen.
I'll
us
take
one.
it.
Take us away, Hen.
Let's make it short and sharp. So,
Fuck.
we're in Sammy, book 1.
Alright, let's not call it Sammy. Samuel, book 1. Have some respect there.
We're in my boy Sammy. So yeah, we've kept Ruth aside. We're coming off the back of Judges now.
All Ruth did, sorry to interject, just to help before we go into Samuel, was show where Jesse came from. And that's it. Alright. And then we're good.
Jesse.
David's dad.
Yeah, okay. Where David came from.
Yeah, no, so Ruth introduces us to Jesse, who was born from, you remember Boaz and Ruth, the daughter of Naomi, and yada yada yada, leads to Jesse. Jesse from Bethlehem. That's all they did, introduce Jesse, and then Jesse ends up being the dad of David, who has all those kids.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, but
yeah.
I just wanted to just kind of clear out where we're up to. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, good on.
It's it.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, post Judges, Israel's in turmoil. There's chaos. They're trying to enter them to the Promised Land. The
Yep.
book's made up of kind of 3 key characters here. We've got Samuel, obviously, Saul, the first king, and then we've got humble old David.
Yep.
So we launch in Hannah, Sam's mum, praying for a son. Wish is granted. She gets a son, who actually is a prophet and chosen by God. So yeah, Sam gets raised up. They launch into kind of like a key battle.
Are you just
and these
skipping a
lads-
bit there? Goes just straight off Elkanah's family.
What do you mean? What do you want to touch on?
Oh, that Hannah was barren.
Yeah.
What's that?
She was barren.
Hannah was barren.
Hannah was barren.
Yeah, she was barren.
Yeah. Yeah. So God gave her a child, and as a thank you to God, she gives them both to the priest Eli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah. Press on.
Let's move on.
So yeah, this
The
battle.
war is raging with the Philistines. You're absolutely correct
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so they launch into this battle with the Philistines, but they bring
Yeah.
the covenant in as their kind of
Covenant's back in the mix.
yeah, good to see the covenant back in. They say, look, we've got the covenant backing. We can do no wrong. We're going to clean up in this war.
Yeah.
Turns out they get mauled by the Philistines, and the covenant's transferred to the Philistines. So then, post that, they're like, Sam, not impressed. Let's get a king.
Yep.
So that's where we see Saul come into the mix.
Yeah.
Saul doesn't really have a good running. Pretty disobedient, unfaithful. No one's really impressed with Saul either. Yeah.
Tough job
So
for
then-
Saul, but yeah, eventually they had him.
Yeah. Yep.
For disobedience.
He won a couple battles off the bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually they got tired of him. So that's where we see David come into the fold. A humble old shepherd who's chosen by God.
Yep.
We see the classic DVG.
Yeah. DVG. I wasn't. I
comes
didn't even
back,
know this
yeah.
was coming up.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming either. Snuck up.
Yeah. I was reading it. I was like, geez, where's this going? Out of nowhere, bang. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, so
Straight in.
they were kind of losing me there, and then DVG comes in.
Reeled you back in, cuz.
yeah.
On the edge of his seat. Yeah, so Goliath, their kind of war was still raging. The Philistines had the covenant. Goliath was kind of this warlord. And he
What's
was
his dimensions? What's he weighing it at? Because he's pretty jacked.
Yeah, he's 9 foot and jacked.
He's big fella.
Huge.
Yeah.
So he was kind of just... Apparently he was waiting there for 40 days or something. Just kind of just taunting.
Yeah.
Squaring off. David comes in. Challenges
David
him.
wasn't even at the battle. He's kind of like bouncing between back at home base. The brother's like, get out of here. Stop coming to the front lines.
Yep. And then, has enough. It was actually, a lot more graphic than the old stories.
Sure, I
kind of.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just a couple of rocks. He gets knocked out, but with the
Bit more than
sling,
that.
puts him down and then cuts the head off.
Up with the head.
Tense.
Yeah. Marching around with Goliath's head in hands. David just instant.
David just ballistic.
Yeah.
This is such an archetypal story. Like, how many stories have spawned from this one? Like, this goes right back. Actually, to be fair, possibly the whole Achilles Ajax / Hector story is probably could actually predate the Bible, possibly around the same time.
Oh, it would. No. It would be before that.
Pretty close. So, but then how many stories come from this archetypal story? You think of
it's a classic,
Game of
the
Thrones, what's his face? Cersei's guard versus the other guy, and then it's just non-stop.
You immediately jumped to Game of Thrones. Yeah, that's a...
No, we're well after, cuz. So, Sammy... Saul's death was 1011 BC. The Achilles Hector date was...
Okay, fair.
Yeah, and...
Achilles Hector's what? 6,000?
500 BC, cuz.
Fuck, I expected 500.
Went out on a limb, cuz.
Because Moses is 1,000.
Yeah. Good 500 years between the two, cuz. But, I like that you go for it. That's the main thing. You'd look so good if you got that right, like 6,000 BC.
Yeah.
Just before the Egyptians.
You would have come out of here, right?
Before the pyramids.
One day we'll get these dates straight. So what date are you actually saying was DVG?
10-11.
10-11.
But that was Saul's death.
That was Saul's
And
death.
Saul lasted a little bit
DVG.
longer. So a little bit before.
Yeah, a little bit
Maybe
before.
50
1120 was when the birth of Samuel was 1120 BC. So just do the sums yourself there, boys.
1120 BC.
Yeah, it was when Samuel was born. And then Saul's death was 1011 BC, so...
1011, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. 1011, cuz. 1011 BC. And Samuel's birth was 1120, so 1120
When are we saying Moses
BC.
was born? Just to last timeline?
Moses was born in...
13, right? 1300?
He was 1400, cuz.
Yeah, alright.
Not bad, though. Not bad.
1400, 400 years goes on, and then we've got Samuel. So they're 400 years out of Egypt, essentially.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
I'm happy with that, cuz, actually. That was very well said.
So David, Goliath, and he murks him.
Yeah, he murks him, and then we kind of lead into the last battle with the Philistines. It doesn't end up well for Saul. As we heard, he kind of kills himself after losing that battle again, and it's just a bit of a recap at the end there, reflecting on what's been said.
Yeah.
So, keen to see what Sam's got in store for us in book 2.
Just let's just wait a sec. So David spends quite a long time running from Saul. It goes into hiding because Saul just doesn't want his successor. He's sick of everyone saying Saul's slain his thousands and David's his tens of thousands, and he's after David. But David spares his life twice.
Mm.
Yep. He's a man of God.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's got 2 perfectly good opportunities, doesn't kill him, and he's like, look, Saul, I'm getting tired of this, I'm going to go run with the Philistines. And he goes out in hiding so he can get Saul off his back, and then he's
Yep.
in the Philistines. And this is another classic archetypal story of a hero running with the enemy, thinking Avatar, Pocahontas. And he's running with them, and he... then I think it gets to the full crescendo of the story is when Saul goes in 28:7. Saul looks for an answer. He's like this. He's getting spooked by it all, and he goes looking for a medium. Find me a woman who is a medium, so I can may go and inquire of her. And so he says, bring up Samuel.
Yes.
Where you going
Because
with
Samuel was dead, right?
Yeah.
Because he needs an answer from Samuel. Because Samuel was the old leader, and he's the one that appointed Saul to begin with. And because Saul's been living in a state where he doesn't have God on his side for a long time now, and he's been feeling that he once did have God on his side, and he's been fighting all these battles without God on his side, and he's getting extremely spooked out there. He knows that David's got God on his side, and everything he's doing is turning to shit. So Samuel comes up from the grave and is like, why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? Saul says, I'm in great distress. The Philistines are fighting against me, and God has departed from me. He no longer answers me either by prophets or by dreams. Why do you consult me? Now the Lord has departed from you and become your enemy. The Lord has done what he predicted through me. The Lord has torn out kingdom out of your hands, given it to one of your neighbors, to David, because you did not obey the Lord. He's extremely spooked by all of this. Samuel's giving him the fucking 3rd degree. Then he goes into this state of fasting. But I think this is just, again, how many times do we see this in the stories? This is almost like Shakespearean in the sense of like Macbeth or like King Richard looking at the past ghosts coming up to haunt him and saying, this is just despairing in his final hour. He knows that it's all gone. The king's fallen. He knows David's coming for him, and there's nothing he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. His time's
Agreed, Kaz.
limited.
It's like end of days. Saul ends, and then David comes in, and ultimately Saul takes his own life, falls on his sword out of the battle. So I think the narrative itself is pretty strong in this one, and the rise of David against Saul.
Yeah. Yeah, so that will lead us on to David amongst the Philistines. Is that correct? That's what we're heading into next?
Essentially, he's wrapped up, I guess, now that maybe David's united the Israelites and Philistines. Is that what's happened there since he was running with them?
No, so
are they going to become friends now?
I'm not sure. So the end of it is, obviously, like you said, they find Saul, behead him, take his armor to the temple of, I can't pronounce that, Astrat, and his body to Bashan. Yeah. And so I think, and then when they hear what happened, the citizens of Jabesh Gilead take his body and perform funerary rituals in their city. So it'd be interesting because it goes into obviously David's now amongst the people that have just got rid of Saul. So I think the next one's going to create a pretty interesting read.
Well, like, where does the kingdom go from here? What's left of the Israelites, and where do the Philistines go? Yeah, I think you're right too. Does he unite them? Does he how does he pick up the pieces?
I think it's going to be pretty harsh. I think there's going to be a lot of savagery to come in, Samuel too. I'm excited for it though. It'll be a good read.
Yeah, keen to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, David, is just your classic hero, and simple as that. We've actually got after Saul, we've got a proper kingdom now. We've got kings running the show, and it's kind of a bit more, I don't know, a bit more traditional in that sense, instead of prophets kind of running the show.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, guys.
But yeah, good. I think the same old things are coming out where you've got a couple of shitbag sons and you want someone actually decent to run the show. House of Eli, his sons were horrible, and that's what led to them looking for Saul, looking for a king in the first place. And I think, we always see the problem of succession, which is kind of like a recurring theme in all of this. And then obviously Saul trying to find someone for him, and the troubles that he had with that. So yeah.
Yes.
No complaints, lads. All right.
Thanks, boys.
What do we got next?
What's on the cards for next week, boys? What are we doing? Where are we going?
Where are we off to?
Well, obviously, because we're keeping a close finger on the pulse for Israel-Iran. See how that unfolds.
When's
the actual election happening in?
November.
Yeah, it's a while away. It's the 5th, right? 5th of November?
Yeah, I think so.
It's the polling date. I definitely think we should touch base on DIDs. I reckon that list will be released by that stage. So, see what hot water DIDs is in.
Yep,
good call. I like it.
Yep. Obviously, Neddy, I just touched base with him. Where he's at. Just coming 7:15. He's not wrapped up. He's not wrapped up at all. He's still got a long way to go. He's on. As for the update, he's on 282.
282. Shit.
But I don't know how. They're normally 10 or so Ks behind, so possibly 290. But that still means he's got at least 30 Ks to go.
Still got 30 clicks in the back.
And he wanted to be wrapped up by 8. So if he's on our pace still, which he may not be, he's still
be done
got
at
at least
11.
3 hours.
Yeah. Yikes.
Now it starts to get interesting.
Yeah. Now it starts to get interesting. He'll finish his day for sure, but now it's going to start to get... Tracker can be really, really off. He could even be up at 300. Hopefully he is. But yeah, it could be getting dicey.
Mm.
Alright, anyways, so hopefully Neddy's still in the game by next Saturday. We got Israel-Iran updates. And if any of your mates want anything to say, I'm more than happy to get them on next week. Present a little segment. See what they have.
Yeah. I might have to do a bit of a screen.
You can screen them behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Let's keep this professional.
Look, if they do a good job, we can bring them back next time around.
They get one chance. They're going to have to buy a mic.
Impress me.
They definitely need to buy a mic. That is 100%.
But we can even just have a loan out guest mic, and we can. I'm happy to fund that, and then we can whoever's coming up can just grab the guest mic off you or whoever, and get them on there.
Not a bad idea. I like that.
Toss him the guest mic.
Yeah.
Set him up.
That actually all sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
And the rest. When's the next F1? I think it's
20th
this week.
of October.
Yeah.
Nah, 20th.
It's been ages away.
Got a couple more weeks, guys.
Yeah, a few more weeks, guys.
All right.
Few
Anything
more
else
weeks.
you guys want to talk about?
We'll keep
Thanks,
updating you on the
guys.
post during the week.
Yeah.
See what's what.
Fine.
Yeah.
All right, chaps.
All right,
Well
lads.
done.
Take
Well
care.
done, lads.
See you, boys.
Good stuff. See you, boys.